Alright, welcome back to another Art Time video, where today we're going to be drawing... Wildcat. We're going to be drawing a Popping Mouse, otherwise known as the Kangaroo Mouse. So, as per usual, if you find yourself enjoying the video, please leave a like and, of course, subscribe for more. Alright, now then, we're going to be drawing a kangaroo mouse. It's going to be hopping up in the air. It's just going to be a simple animals drawing. Shouldn't take us too long, hopefully. As long as we go about this in a nice and quick manner, we should be able to get this done within a decent amount of time. How much time, you may ask? What's stuff there? Well, there's the video. The video length right there. So, yes, it shouldn't take us too long, assuming that everything goes according to plan, and we don't have to, redraw anything. So, just like a mouse here. It's some fur here and there. So it should really be simple, right? Shouldn't take us a whole lot long. A whole lot of time. So, we're going to go ahead and do it. Just a little mouse jumping up in the air. That's what we're doing. But, yes, I guess what I could do is go on ahead and open up the weird stories, what you call it. Don't think I've opened it up in a while now, so I'm going to have to go look for it. Why not? We can get some weird stories in here, get that ready and raring to go when it's time to talk about it. Where are we? Was it there? It's been a while since I've looked at it. Would it be a tracking list? Ah, yes, here it is. Alright, now that that list is up, we'll go on ahead and pick one of those when time comes. But for now, though, what's to talk about before we go into the weird story department? I was thinking over about the amount of stuff that I have to get done with. And it's a decent amount. Like a whole lot that I'm not sure if I have the time to actually get it done with. There's a specific drawing called the class overview. Probably told you all about, but I'll say it again just because. That has me drawing 10 different characters in their classes. Full-on designs and all that stuff. There's 9 new characters, and we'll have Ariel and Mine, because we already got all the other characters in the other overview, so why not? Get a good solid 4 of the main 4 characters from this series of mine. But, yeah, that's a lot that we're going to have to get done with. And on the same month that we have an even bigger drawing now we have to get done with as well. A mature drawing, so you guys won't see the video process of it, which is fine, because that would be like a ginormous part. I don't know how many parts that would be, depending on how many I decide to do. Because there's a lot of characters here that I'm going to have to draw once that becomes the drawing that I gotta do. So it's a pretty lengthy one. I don't know for how long it'll take. All I know is that it is going to be very long. And I got 3 weeks to get it done. There's so much that has to get done with here, and it's best to hold that off until the end to give ourselves some mental time to prep. Some time to prep mentally, I guess. I don't know how else to say it. Alright, this looks like this should be a little bit more in this direction. But yes, there's a whole lot that has to get done with. July is going to be quite busy, and August is going to be even more busier. Despite the fact that I think July might be the most busiest with that ginormous drawing. I'm not going to go into too much detail about what it is right now. Although chances are by the time this gets any views in any way, shape, or form, if it gets into the hundreds, it's already going to be out long before then. So, yeah. Yeah, I hope you all enjoy that one, because that took a lot of work. Or not. It might not have been that difficult. It might have actually been a decent amount of time in between each one. Either way, it definitely took a while. So, no, freaking mouse. Yes, it's a hopping mouse, which is weird because it somewhat looks like a miniature rabbit, or a skinnier rabbit. Like, it looks like it's got yeah, it looks like it doesn't have any, arms here, but in this image it does. But it's got like that rabbit look going on to it right there, you know what I mean? And I go on ahead, got that rabbit looking skull. Although I guess most animals share the same skull resemblance to an extent. Not entirely, but most seem to. Oh yeah, that works actually. I'm tired as hell, exhausted. I'm gonna go ahead and drink some good old old-fashioned orange. Orange. Alright. So now for the body. This bunny is our rat mouse hybrid is in the air. Now what does this arm or hands look like? And it just looks like you know, it's just a little, I don't know, because dude, freaking, I am not really good when it comes to animal anatomy without making it look like human hands or something. Alright, let's see. So, weird story-wise, we got anything that we could talk about here? Can't really talk about this one, but that one's pretty funny. Okay, alright. So y'all remember that Polusky, the creation I was talking about in multiple different videos. Well, if you don't remember, then you didn't go deep enough in the videos. Or you didn't look at the future videos because of the fact that we're probably going to talk about Poluskys more. I don't remember what this was exactly, whether or not it was a dream or a thought process, or it was an implied dream. Something that my brain showed, and I was like, you know, there's something wrong with this particular scene here, but I don't know what it is, and nothing's happening, and I woke up before something could actually happen, so I don't exactly know what happened. So I just filled in the dots. And this is what we got. There's a group of Poluskys in this hotel-esque area. And for some reason, there's this one room in the hotel that's just a shower. That's all it is. It's just a shower. And on the sign on the outside of it reads a plaque that says, you better hope that you are... what did I read again? You are the most dirtiest person in the world, Polusky in the world, or something along the lines of that. Lest you want to face painfully, or not painful, unless you want to face an unusual death, or I don't remember. There's a certain quote, but I can't remember what the hell it was. But something about, like, you gotta be extremely dirty if you want to take a shower in this place, in this little room. So we got yourself, like, a group of these Poluskys. Like, let's just say they're like little mini ones, the small ones. And they go on ahead, they see this here shower room, and they're like, go on, Dewey, go in, use the shower, or something like that. It's like, the little ones kind of like... call themselves names, just like kids, like, yeah, basically, kid Poluskys, yeah, but not like in that voice. It's like, I don't know how to do the voice. It's like, go on, Dewey, go in, or something like that. So, Polusky gets pushed in by all the kids, because he's not even, like, doing this, like, he's not willing to go in there. He's just being pushed in to go in there. And, next thing you know, door shuts behind him. He doesn't realize that the shut behind him, like, automatic. It was like going in slow. It was like, looks behind him and just has a scared face, and in his head he's thinking, you just close the door. I mean, I don't know. Well, he just looks at the shower head and is like, I might as well see what this is all about. Goes up in there. He doesn't even say anything, he just looks at it. So just like thinking about the thoughts of what that Polusky's thoughts could potentially be. So then the Polusky goes into the shower, turns on the knobs, and then the shower occurs. Everything feels normal at first, and then after a few seconds, he has this like this relaxed face. It's like the kind of noise happening as his like hair goes down. You know how I think the best way I can explain how the hair goes down is like, you know the Marge Simpson hair? I already showed you this in a previous video, but if you know the Marge Simpson hair, think of it like that, and it goes down similar to how Cleveland Brown's hair was when he got extremely relaxed in that one episode wherein, it's a Cleveland show, by the way, not Family Guy. And then go ahead, relaxing, he's just kind of like high, with his hair just like down, relaxed as all hell. That, something like that. So then as that occurs, and then the noise occurs, the Polusky slowly sinks in the shower until they literally become a puddle. Just like this yellow splotch of puddle that just gets wiped into, or washed into, the drain, never to be seen from again. The steam disappears slowly but surely. And the door slowly opens up. Clear, nothing is there, but the Polusky is gone. Polusky that went in is now gone. And it's like, whoa, shit, I think we just killed him. No, we didn't kill him. No, I think we actually just killed him. No, you can't prove anything. And they're just freaking out because they think they killed him, which they did. He actually did die. He melted, and that's the experience he felt throughout the entirety of the rest of his existence. But, it wasn't a painful death, either. If anything, like, if Polusky's know about the network, and are like, well, what feeling do I want to feel for, like, the rest of my life? That would probably be, like, the best case scenario in terms of death. Because they go on ahead. Hold on a second, this looks a bit off. Is that a thumb, or is that just... That's weird. Let me look at this image. Oh, maybe that's just an indent. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, what the hell? Wait. That looks like an owl mouse. What the hell am I looking at here? Pygmy jerboa. Half mouse, okay, that. You got a kangaroo mouse and this pygmy jerboa over here trying to imitate the half mouse, half kangaroo. Although I guess this looks more like a rabbit in all actuality. I kind of want to make this thinner. But yeah, back to the subject at hand. Polusky's dying of old age go on ahead and see that, oh, hey, look at this. This is a much better death than the death that I potentially might get in my current old age. And it goes in there, takes a shower, and it's like, ugh, yes, the death that's relaxing. Not too relaxing, just relaxing enough. I should do this one differently. But, yeah. So, how do you take a shower in this particular device without dying? Clearly there's some way for this thing to be utilized, right? Right? Well, you're correct. Because the only way you can take this shower is if your body is caked in layers of dirt, weeks of BO, and a whole bunch of gunk that in most cases would probably be considered toxic enough to warrant a form of a quarantine of some form. It's a specific type of dirty that you have to acquire with years most likely of not bathing, or months of just constant activity and doing things that get you dirty without cleaning up or washing up. Which is what most Poluskys in the active aspect would probably be doing. So, there's a scene I concocted in my head, where there's just one Polusky who is completely, brown, greens, and blacks covering up his entire body, even the hair. The hair is matted completely. It looks like a freaking rug, a texture of some form from a PS1 game, of all things. It's incredibly unkempt, just the same as the rest of his body. And what happens when he goes in there? He gets cleaned, and as soon as he's completely cleaned off, the shower has been satiated, all the dirt's fetted off, and he gets out completely fine, coming out of the bathroom looking like SpongeBob eating that sundae. Literally. Just literally an exact copy of it, except coming out of a bathroom with steam coming out of it. To show people that, yes, this is what you need to be able to feed this strange, paranormal-esque room. You need to be dirty as all hell. And if you ain't dirty as all hell, this room is going to kill you. Which is not what you want unless you are dying of old age and want to experience a relaxing death in the network. I think I've told you about the network before. When Poluskys die, and that's a moth over my, or baby moth over my eye drop tool, that's what that was. When a Polusky dies, this last 7 seconds of their life plays on a loop for all of eternity. And then there's the soul of the Polusky that gets to, leave. But I don't know if the imprint of that is, still alive and active and suffering or relaxing through it constantly, day in and day out. I don't know why I did that. Let me up a bit more. Actually, wait, I could probably just adjust this a bit. But yes, that's the entirety of that network. There's a certain system in place here. Polusky's that experienced a good death. Well, I guess we could probably explain it like kind of a system like this. In a spherical S pattern. Polusky's that experience a good death go up here. Polusky's that experience a normal death with no pain and no bliss go here. The scale tips a bit. Oh god. But it generally stays in the middle. And Polusky's who experienced the worst kind of pain goes here, in this spot. There's another network that only can be acquired if, well, say, the creator of the Poluskys were to come and snap them out of existence. The last 7 seconds of pain is the worst they will ever experience when that occurs. Worse than this, somehow managing to break the veil of the network and going into here. To a point where the Polusky souls who get caught in this are unable to reborn. Because let's for example, say they're in here, right here, and they experience enough pain. Well, okay. Around this point, they experience too much pain to be able to get reborn. But say if they're in here, if the Polusky focuses hard enough and just puts their body back through the orb, their soul gets sent back into the living, or whatever this realm is called, and into a new Polusky body to which they can attempt a second life again. If a Polusky is up here, they have more incentive to not want to experience life again. And it's more incentivized for a Polusky to do that, rather than to be stuck within quite a very hostile world that they live in. Like, really. Polusky world is hostile for pretty much every Polusky. There's rarely one Polusky in existence. Jesus Christ, I wish that these freaking, whatever these are called, gastral bullcrap would stop coming up and trying to make me burp. But yes, every single type of Polusky in this world suffers in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't exactly matter who they are or what they are. I got another Polusky story to tell, actually. I don't even need to put it in the weird story department because we got this in the bag. So there's this overworked boss Polusky, right? Trying his damnedest to get the company running flawlessly. But a whole bunch of nonsense occurs and a whole bunch of incompetent Polusky's employees incur. And this is the kind of work environment that some of these Poluskys create for themselves. Alright, I'm going to make the eyelashes probably like light yellow or something. That's not light yellow. So then, this boss Polusky is in a particular condition where they have to take these particular pills that kind of help with heart condition. And if this Polusky doesn't take it, when too much stress occurs, they get chest pains. Now, the recommended dose for these particular types of pills is 2 a day. Also, hold on. Okay, good. And it's that. It's 2 a day. I'll change this. Actually, no, that's fine. And if they take more than that, they run the risk of meeting a very specific type of Polusky that is like the Grim Reaper to an extent. So, there's a certain bit where this boss Polusky over here is yelling at his employee who's doing completely terrible jobs, like, I'm going to try to come up with any reasons as to why he's yelling at him, just, he's yelling at him. And then just, at the end of his, statement where he's, screaming with the tone steadily rising as he shouts at the Polusky to get out, he holds his heart like this, and takes the pills out, and just dumps a whole bunch of it in his mouth. That's his first mistake. Because also on the bottle it says, if you take more than the recommended dose, the heart problems will get worse, and you will soon run into the Polusky death, or whatever. The machine. And there's a reason why it's called the machine. You'll see in a minute. So, he does this multiple times, where multiple pills come out of the bottle at once. It looks like maybe 10 to a dozen pills coming out of the bottle, right? And this bottle is pretty small. If I would have my hand right here, it'd be right about here. Grab it like this, got the top here, the bottom over here, and he does it several times a day. To a point to where that bottle obviously should be empty, right? Well, wrong. The bottle is not empty yet. It's like a constantly refulfilling prescription, that of which the Polusky doesn't have to worry about, going to any, store, pharmacist to try to get this here bottle. So, the side effects for this here pill is, the Polusky will get enough, side effects if you take too much, I should say. Obviously, there isn't any side effects if you take it the normal dosage. But if you go on ahead and consume a crap ton of these pills all at once, and without any form of control, The side effects for these particular pills are as follows. Constant chest pain, baldness, witnessing a mysterious figure standing in a distance staring at you, paranoia, fear of death, fear of stress. Oops. Oh, that's fine, I can just do this. Whoops. All these things and more if you take too many of these pills at once. 3 is pushing it. 4 is even more pushing a luck. But this guy over here taking a dozen doses at least, he's not going to survive. He's pretty much going to be slated for death the longer he goes down this route. But what can you do? So, Polusky still continues to feel chest pains as the stress from all of the employees screwing around is just getting to him more and more every single day. So, eventually, like the hair loss of this Polusky experience isn't necessarily gradual. It's gradual at all. I don't know why I said necessarily. The hair loss this Polusky suffers is like... Actually, I'm going to do a quick example. I'm going to do a quick mock-up right here to an extent. Alright, something like this. Like, here's a Polusky's frickin', what do you call it? It's like little lines and stuff coming out like that. And it's like, oh, almost forgot another side effect for taking too many of these pills. Their voice becomes more garbled. Like, I can't do the voice. It's almost like this. It's almost like this. Yes, of course, that Polusky's voice almost sounds like, no, that's not. That's too deep. I can't get the voice right, but it's right in my head, and that's all that matters right now. So, I think this comes to about, like, let's say, the 10th dose? So, okay, obviously, the first dose you take, oh, so that is skin, right? Yeah. And most of the fur resides up here. The first dozen dose you take makes you experience heart pain more frequently, to where it's not even helping anymore. The 10th dose you take causes the Polusky's hair to poof, fall out. Not even fall out, just like a few strands falling out. Alright, there we go. I'll save the swatch just because. I'd say around the 20th dose is when paranoia starts to hit in, where you see like fainted images and blinks of the death Polusky drawing ever so near. And the pains become more severe, to a point now where you might be taking more than a dozen doses at once. You might be taking a couple dozen doses. But we'll still quantify it by a dozen doses. Once you've reached the 50th dose, and yes, this is 50th dozen dose, and yes, this is coming from the same pill bottle, then that death Polusky starts to appear. A little bit, but it's not that frequent. Every now and again, you look around and see him, and boom. At that point, it's pretty much too late. And you'll be, essentially, it's a timed death instance, you know? All the pills inside your system don't necessarily disappear at a quick rate. And if you can see this Polusky at this instance, then the mass conglomerate of pills that resides within your stomach are now permanently there. I would think that the only way you can get rid of them would be surgery, but even then, I think the effects coming off of those pills would probably still reside there, in your system, to where you're on a ticking time bomb and will eventually get killed, either by the death Polusky or something else. Now, to speed up this process, you gotta take 100 dozen doses, and at that point, the pill bottle will finally run out. That's right, folks. If you keep taking doses and the pill bottle runs out, you're slated for death. No matter what, you are slated for death. Also, I forgot that this is like that. These pills are meant to be taken in a twice-a-day scenario. There's a 4-hour swap-out period. So if you take it at 6 and then take it at 5, then the pill swap-out occurs. And now if you want to get the facts, you gotta take it at 5 or 4 hours beforehand. Taking it an hour afterwards will cause some pain, but it will subside for a day until the next day, where you take the dose again at the same time you took the last dose. Do that in a month, i.e. 30 days, and that's it. That would mean that there is 60 pill bottles or 60 pills inside of that bottle. But the fact that you can take a dozen pills inside of that bottle means that there is 1,200. I don't even know why I did the math. It's as simple as just taking 100 and multiplying it by 12. That's 1,200 pills if you're taking it constantly. For some reason, the bottle is somewhat sentient. If you take the pill at this particular point, and you keep on taking it as you're prescribed, you'll go through the 60 pills, and there will be no pills in the bottle. But if you're taking it constantly, dozens at a time, and showing no signs of stopping, you will now have 1,200 pill bottles in there, or 1,200 pills inside of that small bottle, and it'll feel like it never runs out. Of course, if you just go on ahead and shove all 1,200 of those pills inside your mouth and just keep on shaking the bottle in there, well, that's how you die quickly. And those death Polusky show up, and that's it. That's game over. So now we explained how the pill system works in this strange little weird story. Why don't we go on ahead and talk about the death Polusky and what its purpose is? So, the death Poluskys are, they're a special kind of Poluskys that show more so through the pill overdose instance. But they can also be shown in a certain realm where Poluskys reside. It's it's like purgatory, but hellish, kind of. And this particular purgatory is something we'll talk about at a later weird story instance, or maybe later after this, who knows? Because we're only, a little over half an hour in here, and we're almost done with the little bunny bounce rabbit kangaroo thingy. But, yeah. The death Poluskys occur when an overdosed person is, getting close to dying and due to an overdose. On rare occasions, there are some Poluskys who are able to evade this, but see, it's not necessarily a very easy task if you're a normal Polusky and you don't have the money. Trying to avoid an overdose of that instance is very difficult. And if you're a stubborn Polusky who refuses to see the doctor, well, your death is slated. Unless you go to the shower and decide that, well, I'm dying anyways, I'm going to die in this one, and be relaxed. Because, when they melt, they don't really feel anything. It's like the nerves on their skin die out, but it's not really painful. Almost feels like a slight hot shower until the water starts to cool off. And then you just feel your body melting and you get the relaxed sensation. Well, we already talked about this, so let's go on to the Death Poluskies. So the Death Poluskies, they show up on like areas away from the Polusky who's suffering the overdose. And they just look on at them. And they have this very specific stare. It's a deadpan stare. And they're always staring at them. See, this Polusky, it bides its time until the person's close enough to death for them to drag them into the machine. Yeah, that's why it's called the machine. Now, this particular Polusky, just like, it doesn't do anything to you yet until your body is closing into death. The pill's effects and all the overdose that you will experience on a short timer. Well, not short timer, but it's a decent-sized timer. The overdose is a lengthy-ass time to take into effect. Take 50 dozen pills and it's too late. You can't go back. Take another 50 dozen and then you're just dead. These Poluskys can't necessarily do anything to your body when you are still alive. They can get close to death and incite like a heart attack so they can get to your soul and be able to move it. Like, if a Polusky dies, they go to the network, right? Well, these Poluskys are capable of preventing that from happening by taking them to the machine instead, which no matter what, it's always 10 times worse than anything the network can do if it's not a part of the, what do you call it, of course? The creator's death spear. The area underneath here. That area. So with that being said, it's for the best to want to avoid that particular death if you have to die regardless. And if you have the money and the resources to be able to stop that effect from trying to kill you, then there you go. Good on ye. So what happens during the hunt portion, where the Polusky dies and her soul is now outside their body? So when you're slated for death by these particular Poluskys, your soul doesn't immediately go into the 7-second dying instance. At first, you'd be probably very confused about what's occurring here, because you're the type of Polusky who thought, once I die, I go to the network, but I'm not in a network. Or if you're a Polusky who doesn't know what the hell's going on, you'll be confused as all hell and wonder why the hell you see your body lying before you on the ground. Either way, these Poluskys take you out of the network's grasp, puts them to their machine. So this is what occurs during this particular moment, which is called the hunt. Death Poluskys start to appear in droves. The closer you are to death, you start to see them more frequently. All those Poluskys you see throughout the entirety of this paranoia trip, and they start to appear before you, clear as day, as they come towards you. The world seems faded, and everyone else, they seem like they're all drowned out. You can barely hear a single thing they're saying. And then you see the Polusky coming at you, slowly but surely. Slowly but surely it does. And the only way you can really escape this is to try to run as far as you can, evade them catching you. And that's all you can do. To keep living your ghost life on the run. Okay, yeah, I messed up something here. But, yeah. Yeah, this particular moment, no matter what happens, that Polusky will always get caught by them. If they continue to run, they'll eventually get caught. There's no real way to be able to avoid something as, persistent as those things. And even more so, A song is playing while this instance happens. I don't know if the Polusky can hear it. Maybe they can. But the song that's playing is Welcome to the Machine. That's right, folks. The Poluskys have commandeered that song and are using that as a means to bring these Poluskys to the machine. And it's not even the same machine as the machine in the song. It's like a machine that's constantly giving Poluskys pain to power itself up. But what do these death Poluskys have to gain from this? I have no idea. So once that Polusky gets caught by these things, they are taken to a new realm. The area where the machine resides. And at this point, their fate is sealed. There is no escape. Sure, you can try to break free from their grasp. There will always be two dragging you to a cell, leading you down a certain spot, until you get to where you need to go to. I don't quite remember where all of this resides or how it all set up. All I know is that it's essentially just like a torture chamber. I could try to tell you how it started. Honestly, I don't even remember if there was a start. I think it was just like a whole bunch of images, and then came to the point where the two Polusky, the death Poluskys, drag a Polusky soul over to the machine. Well, either way, Polusky get dragged into here, and that's where they are for all of eternity. Experiencing a fate worse than the network. Well, the worst part of the network, or at least the part that's not made solely to kill off Poluskys and have them suffer for the rest of their lives with no way to be able to revive, or not revive, be reborn their souls. That's essentially the entire purpose of this particular realm. But there you have it, folks. That Polusky story. Really, there's not a whole lot that I could talk about in the machine portion, because I can't remember it. And I gotta look back very deep on all the, what do you call it there? Not that easy. Not that easy when I am tired, drooping my eyes a bit. You can kind of see my eyes drooping. Matter of fact, let me rub them and try to... Alright, there we go. Trying to stay awake. Okay, crush on soda. Right then. So, we're almost done texturing the Kangaroo Mouse. So, next up will be the background. We're going to do this in all one drawing. But, I think I already told you about what my plans are going on and doing the stuff that I gotta do this week. But I guess I could say it again, because why not, just to fill in a little bit of time. So I have this is the last drawing of the week. That's to say that. The last drawing of the week. So while we go on ahead and have all this time left, I'm going to try to get the 6th episode of Adventurous Ami done with at a decent pace, as quickly as I possibly can. So that means probably going to take a couple of days and a half for me to finish that up. God, I can't stop salivating. I don't know why that was a funny word. It's not even, it's like a strange way of saying salivating, just salivating. Ah, yes, of course. Salivating. I do that too. I'm going to go on ahead and make like a parkour course. Let's just say this is like a game of a kangaroo rabbit, like a real kangaroo rabbit, not like a cartoon anthropomorphic kangaroo rabbit. And it's going through like kind of an obstacle course of some form. Anyways, what was I talking about? Ah, yes, plans. I'm also hoping to get the 61st episode of Minecraft ROTC edition recorded. Probably around Wednesday or Thursday, I don't exactly know. But around that point, preferably. Somewhere after that. Then after that, I want to try to get the Shakira and a very special crossover guest from DeviantArt and a mature drawing. Try to get that done with a little bit early and then post that on Sunday. And that's what I got planned for this week. A lot of stuff to do. You can tell that I am extremely freaking busy with all the stuff that I gotta get done with. Even more so, and I got like multiple complex giant drawings to look forward to. I mean, not gonna lie, I do like having these drawings here, and I haven't experienced burnout yet. I had once before experienced burnout in the past, but I was able to recover from it quite quickly as I'm creating these worlds, expanding upon them. And there's also YouTube too. A nice way to be able to talk. I guess I'm still talking to myself since we don't have many viewers at the moment, or for a while now. Oh wait, did I accidentally? Yeah, you can't move that if we're on that. Good. I'm gonna turn that off. Oh wait, no, that's moving the canvas. What am I saying? Alright, anyways, yeah. I haven't experienced burnout in a while, and that's good. We got so many big drawings to look forward to. Creating these stories and stuff. I think that's the reason why I'm not experiencing burnout. It's because I got these stories that I want to get to and, like, tell. And it's going to look so cool, too. So many things that we can craft. So many stuff. I think I'll put, like, a river here or something. Why not? River, maybe, maybe not here. No, wait, if we want to have there to be a waterfall here, then we gotta have it like right here or something. Yeah, something like that, you know? Waterfall. But yes, I think that's really the main reason why I don't experience burnout or I don't run out of ideas for drawings. There's always something to draw. I've got way too many things to draw. So many ideas that I can barely even get to. So much so that I have to try to goad people into wanting to draw a specific character, because some characters don't get a whole lot of art. A good example, Ori Takarada barely gets any art of her. I think I'm the only one who's drawn a tickle fetish drawing of her in that particular, or on that site, and in that universe. And now there's also Lady Q, who I see no fetish art of either. Although, from the looks of it, it doesn't seem like Fist is that. Didn't really do that well in sales, I think. Like a year in, I barely heard. I'll look up something, actually. I'm going to go over to DeviantArt. And I'm go. 3 notifications. Cool. Oh, it's all from Tickler999. Thank you for favoring Goth Family Tickling, Laughable Assist, and 3 naughty receptionist drawings. Ah, yes, of course. I do vaguely remember you, but I will still give a long badge in case I didn't give a long badge. Deleteth. Alright, I'm gonna look it up. Rating. Okay, I found one out of several drawings that are unrelating to the character here. Let's see, 1, 2, there's only 97 deviations with that name there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 11th drawing. At least, oh my god, I see Drag Sonic. What the? I'm looking up a rabbit with a fist named Rayton, not Drag Sonic. Where is Rayton in that description? What in the world? And I'm seeing what looks to be a freaking Naruto OC character by the name of, what is this guy's name? Is his name Rayton? No! Hitaki Kizuki. Does that sound like Rayton to you? Okay, well I see R-A-I-T-O-N, but there's no Y there. That's not... Wait. Oh, God. Curse. Okay, there's Rayton. Okay, I see. It makes sense now. The description has that there. I'm not going to look at that any further. That's scarring and underage. Don't forget, Sonic's 15. Or 16. I don't remember. I only saw one. There's a review, but that's a review. It has not an image. I only see one. And I was only able to find one of Lady Q by freaking looking it up on whatchamacallit. I press next, and I don't see him here at all. Some strange-looking green monster guy. Some images that don't relate to what I'm looking for. I see a duck with a wide ass. I don't know why that's the case. There is only one. There was only one. So, yeah, I mean... I guess I'll be the first to draw a fetish art of Lady Q. Well, I say that, but it's going to take me a while to get to there because I already got so much planned going into the limitation period. Next one after this one as well. Well, I was discussing what I would do in the limitation period after this one. Not this one, the next one. Because the next limitation period after this one, the next one, the complete next one, you know, the next one on the, what do you call it? Don't know what the hell I'm trying to explain it like this. I'm going to be finishing off a few first seasons of fan art related stuff, as well as a continuation of one of them. Because there's a certain, epilogue that I want to make. I said that I wanted to draw Goth Noel again, at all cost. Noel Silva. But I also got to get this in-between drawing done with for a certain series. Oh, wait, no. I don't want a tree there. I want that to be a cliff of some form. But, yeah. I guess I'll do that in the next limitation period, pretty early on. And by doing that, I will also free up a mature drawing space that will allow me to draw some art of Lady Q. I was thinking about maybe having Luna go after her. Why not? Cat on cat. Cool, right? Also, it's good to have more cat girls under our belt for a very specific drawing that I want to do at some point later on down the road. Don't know how long it'll take for us to get to that one because there's a lot to do. Another big drawing. Not as big as this one, but it's still pretty... Not this one, specifically. The one that I said that's going to be the big drawing when that comes around. But it's not going to be as big as that. Alright, consumption time. $25 characters, so this one's 28. So I guess it's still a big one. Well, regardless, I kind of want to get all of Luna's gadgets done with first. I don't even have all of them finished. Matter of fact, let me open up another notepad here. Luna's gadgets. I only got 32. 16 for 16. So there's still a lot. How much exactly? 34 more drawings left. Because 16, yeah, 34. There's 34 more drawings left. And that means there's 68 gadgets remaining. And that's what I gotta do, folks. I gotta craft up 50 different gadget ideas for each spectrum. You know how Luna is, bondage and tickling gadgets. Yes, of course. So many of them. We already got so many, and there's some that I have thought of that I plan on doing at some point. Alright, this is path. So, yeah, that's something to look forward to, at least. So, yes. We'll go on ahead and, wait, I'll just call that a cliff. Well, it's more of a pit, actually. We'll go on ahead and draw Lady Q when that time comes. And hopefully nobody gets the bright idea to draw her themselves in the first ever fetish art of her. I say that, but that's definitely going to happen before I can get to... Well, who knows? The game's been out for a year, I've seen nothing, and at the rate I'm going in terms of getting any subscribers and views, I won't have to worry about anybody seeing this, of course. So I'll be able to draw her when the time comes. And I'll probably be the first one. Of, fetish art, of course. My first one to draw her... Oh, wait, no, I don't want that one. But the first one to draw her in risque fetish art. I mean, why the hell not? I like all different types of women, skin or fur, don't matter to me. And it shouldn't matter to anybody else who like that kind of stuff. I don't really care for the fursuit stuff, though, the furry culture, though. But I'm not gonna go on ahead and treat them differently, either. Because I'm no different with my like for some furries. Well, not really furries. More like anthropomorphic animals when you think about it. Because that's all those are. They're anthropomorphic animals. Made to be human-like. But not many people are going to see it that way because they're too normal. Never bad. Normality sucks. All normality is to try to be like everybody else. But it sucks. So why don't you go on ahead and do your own thing? Don't let anybody else tell you what to do. Go on ahead and do the thing you want to do. Don't matter what they say, so long you ain't hurting nothing. Just go on ahead and do it. Besides, there's no way in hell, at least until we have some form of alien race that somehow has our evolution shift to, say, a cat or whatever anthropomorphic animal you're into. There's no way we'd be able to find that stuff in IRL without finding an alien race with that particular kind of aspect to them. There's no way. Maybe there's some aliens out there who has a similar world to ours, animals and all, somehow. But the creatures within there takes their evolutionary path from away from monkeys and something like, say, cats or lizards or whatever. What if that's like those crazy conspiracist people saying lizard people and all that? What if that's what lizard people actually are, and it's actually just an alien race who evolutionary path was derived off of reptiles instead of primates? I mean, it's an interesting concept for like a show or something, or a series of some sorts. It's similar to what I'm doing with the felines. You know that show, The Felines, where it's just everybody there is going off of DNA from the cat. And yes, they do have other cats as pets. I mean, there are some people who have monkeys as pets. Cats are more pet-like, right? Right, Cadillac? Licking yourself while I'm trying to speak to you, is that what you're going to do? Just pop, and she just like, you popped? And looks at me. Whirs and looks at me. But, yeah. It's an interesting concept, to say the least. I fear any conspiracy theorists out there, go on ahead and spread that lizard people are actually aliens from another universe whose DNA comes from, or whose evolutionary path comes from lizards, as opposed to primates. Ah, yes, mix all the conspiracy theories together. Of course, why not? That's not going to cause any issues down the road. Alright, let's see. Got some bushes here that I want to place down as much as I can. All this grass here is a bit thick. That's fine. And go to 100 over here. Cover up most of this. Not 100, 175. Get a little bit further inwards. Now 125 or most of this over here. And 100 for this part, which covers up this. There we go. And now I should go over here and deal with this stuff over here, right? Yep. Grass 2A. And now get most of this filled in. What are you doing? Look at that, look. Alright, let's see. I don't know if I'm going to use this again for any point in time. This particular SWAT setup. I think I colored and everything, so I don't think I need this anymore. I'm going to shade in what I can, and then I'll finish up the rest by putting in the textures. The rocks and a few other things. Why not? Rabbit over here jumping. I'm sure there's a game out there where you get to play as a Kangaroo Mouse. That feels like a decent platforming character you can utilize, anthropomorphic or not. So yeah, why not? Will I be able to make it? Probably not. Because I don't necessarily have the skills to be able to craft something like this yet. I might have the knowledge and remembrance of how to do some of the coding, but not all of it. I would need like a refresher course in Unity and then figure out how things work. Well, not Unity. I feel like my skills from Game Maker might cross over into Unity. People are able to do it. There are other people who can do it. I just gotta figure out how to do it and do it well. Of course, I want to work on coding first, so that's why Paint Maze would be the main focus. We just get the models we need, figure out how to actually make use of the models, and have it all be cubes of different colors, so that we get the Paint Maze aspect. That's the idea. We have it on a flat backdrop that pretty much just showcases where everything is. Or not everything is, showcases like it would in Paint. And then that's it. A simple game. Not a graphical masterpiece, it's literally a simple game made to look like it was designed in Paint. I really do want to work on a game like that right now. But I got so much to work on, and I won't be able to do it yet. So many projects and so many YouTube videos as well. I'm hoping I can make some progress in Minecraft ROTC Edition and up to a point where I can reduce the episodes to once a week. Sonic Adventures 2 might still remain in its spot, assuming we don't complete our main goals in that series. Which, right now, at this particular moment, we're still going through story mode. But, I can give you the goal at least. Next up, we're going into, emblem hunting mode, where we collect all the emblems. And then we go on ahead and try to get all the A ranks. Best we can, because that's going to be a pain in the ass. Then we need to go on ahead and get all the Chaos Chows. Angel, Devil, and Neutral. I would hope to try to breed the two heroes and the hero and Dark Chow, so that I may be able to get their child at a much higher rate in terms of grade, hopefully. But, yeah. That's essentially the plan for the entirety of Exotic Adventures 2. Once we can get that, because I know the end game is going to be the Chaos Chows. I don't think A rank is going to take us that long, considering the fact that we have like several evolutions that we have to get those Chows to go down in order to get them to where they need to get to. So that's like the end game portion. I wouldn't blame anybody if they started to tune out at that point, because it's Chow raising. And we pretty much did everything else in the game, and the only thing left to do in the game is to get the Chaos Chows. So it will definitely be interesting to see how getting those are going to work. We just gotta not give them like one of every animal once they get to the point where they can become a Chaos Chow. That's what we gotta do. Easier said than done. We also gotta make sure that their happiness is high. So chances are we gotta give them like 20 of an animal and 10 to balance it out, 20 of another animal and 10 to balance it out. Get it all to 0. That right there is already 60, and all the fruits and the petting we give them will easily allow for us to get the Chow's happiness maxed at 100. And then we just gotta keep feeding them until they transform. After that, simple as that. I mean, it depends on what happens. I don't know how long it's gonna take for me to get an A rank in that game. All A ranks. Especially the frickin' cart stages. Those suck. There's also the boss. The bosses, I think, also give off, like the boss rush. I think they give off a emblem. So that's going to be annoying. Oof, it's going to be annoying to get all those emblems in that department. I mean, getting all the emblems will be easy. Except for like a few instances that are going to be a tiny bit repetitive and frustrating. But getting all the A ranks is going to be the most annoying thing to do in this game. So annoying. I don't even know how the hell I'm going to manage. It's not easy either. Whoops. You have to be here, and you have to be angled in this direction, and I need to bring you out like so. Oh, wait a minute. I want rocks here, but I don't want them to be that big, so 60. And keep them to the side here. Put in the 40 here. And there we go. 20 right here. Whoops. I guess that part I'll have underneath. And I need to go over to... Oh, shit. Oh, that's right. That might not work because this is underneath everything. So that means I gotta be very careful about how I... Well, I guess I could just do this. Delete what I can here and keep up this part here as best as I can. Like, okay, we can delete that. We can keep that rock there. Delete a little bit more here. 30 here. And then... Where is it? Ah, here it is. Rocks 1B. Oops, 1B. Yeah, 1B. That will be to make sure I didn't name the other one Rock and not Rock 1A. Oh, whoops. Too many rocks is too many rocks. We need to balance out our rocks. Also, I want to put some bushes here. Maybe some flowers or something, I don't know. I think it's the 40, and now I gotta go up to rock 1A so I can fill in the rest of this like so. And now there's something here that I want to do to this. Oh, whoops, I don't want to do that. I want to flatten it. And I want the others dynamic to occur so that I can do this. Little bits of rock in the path, you see. Because why not? Like so, just around right here. Yeah, okay, that works. Now let's go back to the norm, turn that off, bring this back up here. Oops. There's more that I want to do to that area. We're not done with it just yet. Rocks 1C. There we go. 20. I guess we can have some rocks. Yeah, actually, we can have rocks down here. Okay, have rocks and some kelp or something. I don't know. Some big rocks and then some small rocks, covering up a large majority of this path right here. Yeah, like that. And that should be all for the rocks. I don't really know if I'm going to be keeping this swatch for any reason whatsoever. I technically have no reason to do so. But we're going to do it. So why not? We might use this again for some reason or another. Whoosh. Oh wait, that's right. I gotta also shade in the grass, of course. Yeah, like so. Have that go over here, and then have that right up. Yeah, that's what we want to see. More of that. Differentiate things by shading it in. I feel like that was shaded in, but I'm not sure. Alright, I guess we could... Oh yeah, that's right, we want to make some bushes up here to the side so we can see them, you know? Let this one be like 100 or something. Maybe we'll put some berries there. Go underneath here. Put a bush right in this area over here. Hey, put bush. And we're going back over the grass, and we go on here, put bush back over here. And put some other plants here as well. But in a moment, I want to put a bush here. And if I can... Actually, wait. Tiny bush over here. And behind the tree, another bush over here. Not too big, though. I don't want the entire river to be going away now. Yeah, we definitely should put a bush over here, too. Behind or in front? I guess we could put, like, right here or something. Yeah. And then underneath here, the tree. Bush 2F. Now, why did I say 2F? I meant 1. We're not even on 2 just yet. Nor do I think we're going to go to 2. And let's take care of that. Don't press D just yet. There we go. Okay, cool. Right then. Now for the berries. Well, first things first, I gotta scatter them, bring that out here. And now, berry-wise. We'll have some red. Get some shades of pink in there as well. Berries. Maybe not there, maybe like right here or something. Is it the shade that I want? Yeah, it is, but it's not doing different shades here like I thought it would. Alright, I guess that's fine. We'll go on ahead and do a little shading for these berries here to make them look more intact with the bush. Like so. I guess we'll call them red berries. Red berries number 1. Red berries number 2. And now we're going to have blue/blackberries. Or we'll just call them blackberries. And go over to here. Maybe make this one smaller. And more, what do you call it? These ones might not even have too much going on for them. I could just do this. There we go. Blackberries number 1. Blackberries, oops, number 2. There we go. There's more plants that I want to put in here, though. So I'm going to get another shade of set shades of green, like this one right here. I mean, I might as well try to go a little bit all out, right? Alright, I'm just going to call this plant 1A. Doesn't exactly matter. I'll make this 50. Go on ahead and try to cover up most of this like so. Go behind the bush, plant 1B, and cover up most of that like that. There we go. So I can go on ahead and shade in this portion now. Oh, I also should shade in the bushes too. Why not? Go on ahead, shade in all them there bushes, because they do also need to be shaded in. Doesn't matter what we do, they do gotta be shaded in. And now I gotta go on ahead and do a little bit of the bushes right here, like so. And then this one and those as well. There's so many bushes here that we gotta shade in. And we didn't shade in for some reason or another. But we'll do it right now, of course. Whoops. I'm getting tired. I'll go ahead and consume some more orange beverage. Whoop. There we go. Now then. I should get one of these sets here. Go on ahead and space them out a bit. I don't know what this one is entirely, but I guess I'll just call it plant. Can I use this? Kind of. Yeah, I guess I could. Why not? Plant number 1, plant number 2. There we go. Alright, so, yeah, here we go. I'm gonna go on ahead and shade this stuff in, make them a little bit brighter to make them more differential to everything here. And there's a certain type of thing that I want to utilize. I've been using this brush for more than just coral. This brush is actually quite useful for stuff like seaweed on the ground. You see this brush right here? I honestly don't even remember how the hell I created this. But I'm pretty glad I created it because this is actually quite useful for these particular types of things. So we'll call this kelp or something. Seaweed. Oh wait, this should be above the rocks. Goes on ahead and covers up most of that, like so. And do a little bit of this. And maybe a little bit more extra kelp. Kelp number 1, kelp number 2. And just kelp 1A. And then kelp 1B. We'll have some of these as well. But not in the other format. We'll have it in this format. Maybe like little seagrass. This used to be the old way I made kelp. Kind of glad I went for this because it works better for most things. I guess we could do some of it. A mixture of the two. You know? Because why not? So now I'm going ahead, do all that stuff over here. And there we go. A much nicer looking water over here. Maybe we'll make it a tiny bit more... Nah. I guess we can have it be at 70, but let me make the thing highlighted a bit so it's a bit brighter. And now we'll go ahead and put some sparkles up in here. Go over to here, DX, change that to where it goes to white. And then I need to do this. And some sparkles. You might not be able to see them all too well here, but that's fine. I'm going to have some flares as well. Make the sparkles more prominent. Or whatever beeth the word. But we're not done just yet. These are suspiciously missing leaves. And that's what I want to put here. So what color do I want these to be? Well, autumn leaves sound nice. So we'll go on ahead and do that. Red and golden. Make it seem as though that the leaves... I mean, the grass don't change color during autumn, right? Or fall. Does grass change color in fall? Cold season species would stay green for much of fall because they thrive in cool weather. Warm seasons turn brown. I see. So they will turn green they will stay green during fall. Or just about. Alright, cool. Great. Fantastic. That's what we want to see here. Alright. So something other than just a whole bunch of greens. We get some fall colors in here as well. We're still kind of in the summertime right now, but I do kind of want to have the autumn colored leaves here. I don't remember. Did I say trees or tree? I said tree. Not like it really matters too much, but I might as well anyways. Okay. Alright. So tree number 2, put that there, and then put this right here. There we go. Now I need to go over to you and do 3C. We'll go over to you, and then we'll take care of this like so. There we go. We'll even have some, maybe not here. We'll even have some leaves going off of this thing right here to make it look like there's another branch or something. There we go. Now there's one more thing that I want to do. I want to scatter these leaves out as much as I can. I'm probably not going to have you over the rabbit right now. Leaves. Oh wait. Other dynamic. There we go. Leaves are falling from the sky. And then we go on ahead, turn other dynamic off. We go on to the path here and we have leaves fallen. Just a bit, well, maybe not like that. Maybe no rotation. Angle jitter to here. We'll rotate it so it stays in this direction. Too bad there's no flip thing that flips the brush. That would make things a whole lot easier if I could have it flip the brush that I'm using, right? Alright, put some leaves over here. Rotate it back in this angle. Place leaves here. We might have to delete some leaves actually because of this thing, but that's fine. There we go. Okay, good, great, fantastic. Now then. I'm looking pretty good. And that is an hour and a half, which is surprising. More soda, because I'm going to run out soon. Or I'm going to end it soon. The video's going to end soon, and I'm going to run out. Although this is still quite early. It's only 12:24, so we're making pretty good time here. Do I want to have moss growing out this? Ooh, wait, hold on a second. What if I use this to indicate moss growth? some form of moss. I'm sure there's a moss out there that looks like that. I'll only put it on this tree, though. And do I want it to have the plant layer? Yeah, I guess I can have a plant layer. I mean, moss isn't going to change colors, right? So this is about as best as it can get, right? So, yeah, moss of some form. Moss growing on the tree. Yes, it's growing on the tree. Ah, for crying out loud. Okay, prevent the scatter from going that far while I'm working on the edges here. I will put some moss down here as well. I mean, why not? Nice little old growth or something. Old growthy. Old growthy. All growthy, I don't remember. I can't quite remember. It's been a while since I looked at that video. Moss. Look at all that moss right there on that there tree. Civilization's in that direction. According to, I think, some stuff, right? Isn't that right? I'm gonna look it up. Does moss point towards to civilization? Yes, as the moss grows north or south, one path leads to civilization, the other does not. Seriously? No, something seems wrong here. No, I've never heard this before. Always often repeat that moss Well, there's a lot of people saying yes and a lot of people saying no. I don't know, I don't care, it's fine. Alright. Oh, I don't even think I need this open anymore. The kangaroo rabbit's already done. Well, I could probably do a little bit of this to make the ear look like it's a little bit more attached fur-wise. And there's your moss, folks. Strange looking moss where it's at right now, but that's fine. I guess I can have this cracked a bit. Let's see, where's my cracked? Where's my crack? Ah, there's my crack. Ah, yes. Take the crack. God, I just ended there. Ended there. Alright, so we cracked the tree. That's good. Great. Now I gotta figure out what I want to do here. Well, if this is going to be going over the edge, and that's going to be a cliff, I guess, let me go on ahead and put the sky in. What sky would it be? Autumn sky, like this. Maybe followed by some, not yellows, blues, a light blue, like so or something. Have light blue take of most of this over here, but have like a nice orangish color down below. Honestly, it probably would have been better to have done this, and we would have gotten that done with easily. Okay, cool, great, fantastic. There might be a little bit more that I want to do here. Unless I want to have this be like a nice big lake. Could be. Yeah, this could be a nice, ginormous, gangsterous lake. With a whole bunch of what would look like bushes, but is actually just trees in this particular direction. Leading to a ginormous, gangsterous forest. I don't exactly know if I want to keep these sky colors, but I'll do it anyways, because why not? Alright, we already got the water, so this part should be easy. Oh yeah, that's right. My brain forgot that the W key is no longer there, and I'm utilizing the little nub to press it. Land. Dirt. Okay, that's not where you're supposed to go. Go down. Grass. Now that we don't need this here anymore. Well, I guess, first things first. Let me go on ahead and do this. Like so. shade in most of the land here, make it look like it's got, going on. Oh, and highlight the sky, mid to the bottom, both dodge and, burn and dodge. And let's go to water. Oh, we can get rid of blank now, actually. And now let's go on ahead and highlight it. Okay. Well, I guess I could do a little bit of texture as well. Why not get that out of the way with here? There we go. Do a little bit of this for the ground over here. And now for the grass. Although, to be honest with you, I don't know how the grass is going to work here. Let's see. Yeah, because if we put it on like this, it'll be a little bit more difficult to get all of this stuff where it needs to go to, but I think we can manage. I think I can manage it if I were to cover in all of this. And then do an increase in the spread size and the count. So long as I can get the upper area done with, I can get the bottom area done with at a much quicker rate. We'll also be able to... I mean, it doesn't exactly matter a whole lot due to all the trees that are going to be here soon. Alright. Scatter, increase the count. Oh, wait, I forgot about this. That's fine. Oh yeah, to an extent, the water portion doesn't matter because the water is above everything. The only thing I think is going to be above the water is the grass. Not grass, what's it freaking called? The trees. I think that's the only thing that's going to be above the water. Man, most of the dirt isn't even shown. It was kind of pointless for me to put dirt there. Oh well, it's fine. At least now you know that there's dirt there. Alright, now we just gotta shade in the grass, then we gotta shade, put in the trees, and shade in the trees. And then that will be that for this one. Relatively quick drawing. We're going to be done with this in a decent amount of time. Trees. And, yeah, I guess technically speaking, we should go for the full autumn look in the back. Or we can go... No, we'll go for the full autumn look in the back. Why not? Yeah, I should have like multiple different types of trees here to make this look like, what do you call it? Some of these trees here aren't even going to be shown that much. Well, actually, now I'll have that be behind something. Trees 1A. And trees 1B over here so I can get this its own little, what do you call it? This one already got its trees in, so, I probably could put in a few, what do you call it here? A few stumps or trunks showing. We'll see about that in a minute. Trees 1C, we're going to put a tree over here, show most of this off in that direction. You're not even really going to be able to see too much of this too, so it might not even matter that much. There we go. And then here. And right here. Oh, wait. Oh, for crying out fucking loud. You renamed the wrong one, you idiot. Right, that's fine. I can cut them all out very easily by doing this. You go back to water. You go to... No, you go to trees 1D. You don't even freaking deserve it. Layer via cut trees 1E. I don't think any of this got in the way, right? I'll take some of the water out and look at it. Okay, The only water that got touched is that one. That's fine. That's not even shown. You can't even see that one. That'll be our little secret. And if you tell anyone, oh, I don't know why I said C when I meant to say E when I meant to say C. God damn it. Okay, now 1D. So there's a decent amount of trees out there. This little kangaroo mouse is looking at. Or like, not looking at, but jumping past. Alright, trees 1E. Now the trees 1E comes into play. And now this is where this finishes off. Now we're cooking with fire. Okay, let's shade in everything. Should be easy enough, right? Oh wait, you need to not be mid-tone number 5. You need, or exposure 5. You need to be exposure 10. Maybe I should highlight these trees. Yeah, these trees highlighted looks way better. Highlight dodge at least. Mid-tone burn. Did that even? No, that didn't go here. This is a one of a kind here. Okay. Now we go on ahead and do this part right here. Switch to highlight. Now we go over to C. More. Say more, and then we do this. I guess I should probably do the highlights as soon as the mid-tone is done for every single one of those, but it's fine. Oh man, I'm so tired. And these bright lights make it more difficult for me to keep my eyes open. Don't know why the hell I'm so freaking tired, but whatever. Highlight these. I think this is the last one for you, right? Oh wait, no, you got one more behind you. Of course you do. Well, that will at least finish off this department. Do this, do that. And then we go on ahead and do a little bit of this. Get that done with and get this done with, and there we go. Is there anything more that I want to put here? I guess sparkles in the water out here would work. Now that we're actually on the water layer. Sparkles. Let's see. I guess that works. A little bit of sparkles over here. There's still one more thing that I want to do, however. I need to get a certain color for this. And I want to have the waterfall have a bunch of cloud stuff here. So, where is this here? Okay, that's behind that. And that's behind that. And that's there. So I want the water clouds to be placed right here. And have it go a little bit overboard to here. You're not going to really be able to see it too well with the, what do you call it here, but that's fine. So how far is this going? I may have taken it a bit too far, but that's fine. That's easy to fix. There we go. I don't even know if you can see that well. I'm going to switch this over to 20 and have this be a bit brighter, so that we have this showing more prominently towards this point right here. And there we have it. Awesome. Great, fantastic. So what now? Is there anything else I'm missing? I guess we can get some clouds in here. Go on ahead, change this to clouds, and see what we can get. You can barely see the clouds here. Hold on. Let me go for a different color of clouds. Clouds are mostly white, right? Yeah, make it even brighter and it'll look like cloud. Ah, there we go. Now, if I do it at that, it's not going to look as good. Unless I do 10. Yeah, 10 looks better. Alright, we're almost done, folks. And we are almost 2 hours in. Not bad. I thought this was going to take at least like a few hours, but it didn't take that long at all. It's a pretty simplistic one, too. Simplistic enough and it's not that complex, at least. Alright, let's get some whites up in here. And there we go. Ooh, I got an idea. I'm going to have some breath coming out of the rabbit's little nose. Make it look like it's a bit cold out there. Breath. Oh, wait, no. If we have the breath anywhere, it should be at least around the nose. Breath. But don't let it be this. Let it be like this. And let this be somewhat of a light gray. Come out like so. And you can see the breath of the rabbit coming over here as it's jumping. It's a cool, breezy, windy day. Rabbit's breathing as it jumps, or rabbit. Can you blame me? Kangaroo mouses look like rabbits. Keep saying it's a rabbit, and you all over here be like, no, it's a kangaroo mouse. I know. I understand. The reason why I do this is because I want to draw a new animal, and the kangaroo mouse is a new animal I haven't drawn yet. Well, not a new animal, but you know what I mean. God dang it. You know what I freaking mean. I don't have to explain myself to you. Alright, I should put the breath over the shadows, obviously. Alright, here we go. Shadow time. This is probably not going to have too much shadows, but I'll have some shadows in here just because. Some shadows in between the ears and a little bit around it. Shadows covering up where the ear is. Shadows a little bit like right here. Some over here. Some right here as well. Some here. Light's probably going to be up top, but it's going to be like a nice, cool light. Maybe not light blue. No, I feel like it'd be best if it was some form of blue. To try to keep with the cloudy look that we got going on here. You know? Okay, so there's the rabbit done with. Now for the shadows in this department, which shouldn't really be that difficult either. An area with a decent amount of plants, not too many. Got some rocks and a nice pit here. Pitfall. Feels like a friggin' Crash Bandicoot level with this pitfall over here. Windy Autumns or something. Or some pun to do with... oh, wait. I can't believe I forgot this. I got a shade in the trees, of course. Glad I noticed this. Otherwise, those would just look bland and boring. And we don't want that. No, why would we want that? Whoops. And a little bit more here, and make this a bit brighter to tell it apart easily. There we go. I'm glad we've learned a new moss texture as opposed to the one that I have been using. Because that brush actually worked perfect for moss. It's like perfect for most patchy types of plants that you find on the ground of something, like the seafloor, like moss, or whatever you want to call it. It's perfect for that. Almost too perfect. This moss over here is going to try to take over the tree. Imagine. Oh god, there might actually be some warrant to having this take over some trees. Potentially. Nah, I don't think that the leaves have to worry about it too much. We used to use this, okay, well, it doesn't help if I do it like this. We used to use this texture a whole bunch for trees. But now we use that. Well, this texture explicitly, it's something else, but I'm not going to show you it. Okay, cool. Landscape. I don't know what this is gonna be. Monitor room. Wait, is that New Year's cat drawing? Maybe. Well, you know, we'll call it that. Ah, fuck. What was it again? How did I forget the name? Breezy Autumns. Windy Autumns. That's what it was, I think. Windy Autumns. And now I get to get the fog in. The fog. There we go. Now all I need to do is just put in the fog here. I don't quite know what fog I want here. Light blue seems too much. That seems too dull. That too, as well, seems dull. Teal? No. Man, like, how do I keep that here from looking like it would? There's gotta be like a certain set of colors that I can utilize to make this look good. I feel like that could work so long as I delete the fog where the sky is. We do that and that could work. There we go. Just about. Wait, actually, there's a better way for me to do this without having to dance around the rabbit, or kangaroo mouse. I'll do this instead, and then I can do this, and then get rid of this, right? Yeah. We can keep that sides like that. Now for the fog of everywhere else. Might be too much here. And it's a bit too dark. Unless I want to have a shade of orange. No. At least not that shade. Not that one either. Green? No. This color of orange? No, there's two orange. One of these two? But using another one of those, I'm not sure about that one. I'm sure I can get another type of blue fog here. It's not too overbearing. Could that work? Nah. I'm not sure I'm going to do this, because most of this already looks good as it is. Hell, I don't even think I need the fog in here. I'll move the fog somewhere else, actually. Where do I want to move it? Not there. Back here, of course. We could put it right here. So most of that remains untouched. Whoops. There we go. And because this is mostly all just, what do you call it? That should be easy to get rid of. I should also get rid of some of this side too. Okay, another new blue, but what is this? Pale blue it most likely is. Do I have any pale or is this dull? Oh, dull blue. I feel like I have pale somewhere around here. Okay, alright. Pale blue. But where would that be? There's a dark red, dull, and then there'd be... Okay, so dull blue then. Or dull blue, the fog, number one. I think this is foggy, right? Yeah, there's no reason for it to say anything else. Kind of looks like, oh, that's more dull. It's not dark, it's more dull, you know? Fogs, UTL, there we go. UTL for utility. There's only one more area left. Not here. But here. Fog 1C. These could probably stand for a little bit of a nice orange, light orange fog. I'll still get rid of this though, so it remains as is. But we'll keep the bottom here untouched. Like, okay, up here. This remains relatively untouched. And despite its cloudy appearance, it's still relatively lit up quite well. Nice. Alright, sun rays. I gotta switch over to lighting. And now we're gonna do this. I said I want to go for like a nice light blue. So this could work. We'll have it beaming down on the Kangaroo Mouse. I can barely see anything here. So most of this isn't showing well. Yeah, hold on, you can't see that one very well. Let me delete that and try something else. Yeah, but this blue is a bit too dark, and this blue is a bit too cyan. Do we really not have a whole lot that we can use here? Should I go? No, because yellow is still not going to be shown, or is it? I guess we could have a nice, cool yellow with light blue going around it. If you can't really see the yellow, and if it's like this vague, and how you can, because you can barely see anything, right? It blends in quite nicely. So long as we don't make the sunlight too overbearing, then we might be able to make the yellow work. And we'll go for blue effect. Oops. Blue effects over here. Nice yellow overhead lighting. Now for the sun particles. Go over to this. And we'll do this. Little particles going around here. Delete the ones near your face so you're not not covered by a tiny bit of those particles. And now let's make the flares over here. Oh, and make sure they're vivid lighting as well. There we go. I'm going to delete the little bits on your tail. And now lastly, before we go on over to the effects, shadow rays. That part's easy enough. Whoops. There we go. 10 for 10. Okay, let's see. 150. I guess I can try to make it less... What's the word I'm looking for? Prominent? Less something, I don't know. I don't quite know. Doesn't exactly matter now. Just so long as it looks good. That still looks good. Still want to try to adjust it. There we go, some here and some here, that's for certain. We'll get some of it on there and a tiny bit of it right here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Shadow rays 1B. And then I got to do this. Have this over here show off the shadows, and this over here as well. We'll even have this over here with this showing that there is trees up there, or leaves up there, quite close. I think that might be all. Yeah, that should be all in the shadow rays for the back. Wait, actually, I got an idea. Just a little bit. Not a whole lot. There we go. Didn't have to cover up much of anything. Alright, folks. It's almost time. One more sip of that before we finish this off. Now then. Well, I guess I could try to adjust this part of it, actually, so it's not too, not too dark. Just enough to show you that, yes, there is some stuff up there. Alright, now it's time. So, like I said, I want to go for a blue look here. Not too blue. Let's switch on over to effects, and now let's look through what we've got. That one might be too blue, but let's see. Actually, that kind of works. Yeah, it surprisingly works, kind of. Why aren't you going to eraser? There we go. Delete some of the sides here. And now we're going to go over to light blue area. Which is going to be this thing. Oops. And of course it is a thing. And there we go. Maybe some yellow as well. Whoops. Just because. What shade of yellow, though, I wonder? Yeah, that should be enough. Teal area, but a decent light teal. Maybe around like right here or something. Cover up most of the ground here, like so. Some of this as well. And maybe some pink area. That's 300. That's not where I want you to go. I want you to be 30. And I'll try this shade first and see where this brings us. Some pink shades here, some pink shades across most of this. Maybe not all of it. Oh wait, that's right. I gotta be careful with where that is. Because you're going to go over the thing, and that's not what we want you to do. So we're going to go on ahead, get a little bit of this in, and some more of that to make that brighter. Maybe now we'll leave some of the pink there untouched. In this area it seems fine as is. You wouldn't be able to see the light going there, so that wouldn't work. Let's see. Light the purple area. Overlay this one. And boom. Like so. Try to light up some of it so it's not too dark. Some nice combination of teal and purple. It also makes the trees look a tiny bit more purple too, which does look kind of good with the purple orange aspect here. So yeah, that'll work. Alright, cool, great, fantastic. Now let's finish this off with a nice coat of sepia. I like how I keep calling it sepia, despite the fact that that's not actually what sepia is. Teal looks pretty good. It actually brings it back to what it looked like before. Let me look around, see if there's any more that we can use. Too bright. This is green, right? Yeah. I don't care about the green. How about this one? And a little bit too bright. How about this one? Too bright. You know what? The teal looks good. Makes everything look like it's cloudy, you know? It's not sunny, not sunbright out, it's cloudy. A nice little moody drawing to an extent. Cloudy, windy, all that stuff. Yeah, all the things you need to try to make it difficult for a hopping mouse, a kangaroo mouse, to be able to get around the area. But there you have it, folks. The kangaroo mouse. Now, of course, well, first of all, let me go on ahead and switch back to my basic swatch here. And now with effects, without effects. With effects, without effects. Huge difference there, is it not? Okay, I like it. Looks pretty cool. Anyways, there you go, folks. 2-hour drawing right there. Not bad. Looks pretty good for 2 hours. So, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe for more, and check out their playlists. See all the other drawings we've made. Even check out the, the games. Minecraft RTC Edition and Sonic Adventures 2 if you want to. And now, of course, a previous episode of our time right over here, and the most recent episode of Sonic Adventures 2 Battle. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.